It means to me opportunity to speak up what we want to say, which should be actually every day, not only one day a year.
It gives an opportunity to recognise and support the frictions that women encounter in the workplace and wider society, and at least try to understand the frictions that they're going through.
I think sometimes in the UK we can get a bit ahead of ourselves and think that we've made so much progress that we don't need to carry on. And for me, my mind goes to places like Afghanistan where women are being terrorised completely, and I think until we have freedom for women all over the world, we're so far from done. And I think it's, you know, people like me who are in a privileged position and do have freedom to a certain extent to speak up for those who are not so privileged.
It means that we're acknowledging how far we've come, but how far we have yet to go to ensure that there's equity and equality in the workplaces for all genders.
It's a day to really celebrate women and everything that they do, not only within the business, but throughout the whole of the world.
So I think for me, the most important thing is for men to join the conversation. What I really don't like is that this can be considered as a women's issue. And I understand that it can be an alienating topic. And I think the work that we need to do as women is to invite men into the conversation, but we also need men to be listening and want to take part.
So for this, I really think it is use your voice. So challenge any problematic questioning that they may have. Really make sure that you are using your voice for the good and challenging anything that people can maybe take as offensive.
Most importantly, it's about voicing any issues, differences. The more we talk about it, the more opportunity we have to solve issues, the more people will be thinking about it. They'll get brought up more often in strategy, and that's the way forward.
So I think this will probably be my advice to anybody, whether it's fintech or not, but find out what your superpowers are and then play to your strengths. And I think with your superpowers, that's often things that to you come really naturally and easily, so you might disregard them, but actually the things that you find easy might be somebody else's worst nightmare. So just work that out about yourself and then use those to your advantage.
Be yourself and be genuine. Don't be like anybody else. They're taken. There's only one you.
If I think about the advice I would have gave myself when I started working in fintech, if I knew then what I know now, back yourself, be confident. Like, I'd never worked in fintech or in any sort of tech space before joining Liberis. Didn't have like any experience similar to anyone else here, and to be honest I still don't, but I know that I'm good at what I do, and I think it's like use your own strengths and make them apply to the role that you're going into.
Diversity of thought is one of the most important things for a company looking to progress. If there's no diversity of thought, no diversity, then you'll keep doing the same things again and again, and you won't change, you won't progress.
I think that we have to appreciate the backgrounds that people have come from and start to unpack our privileges. And I think, you know, a lot of this is, you're kind of blind to it. If something is just handed to you, you don't necessarily realise it or appreciate it. So understanding where people have come from and the struggles that they've had to get to just the same point as you, I think is a really important thing to consider.
It blows my mind when people think that they can solve really difficult, hairy, hard problems that lots of people, lots of companies for years haven't been able to solve, and even try and like push the boundaries and pioneer a new experience or a new improvement or a new product or a new offering when you've just got the same minds on it again and again. And the definition of insanity is just thinking about the same thing again and again in the same way without changing. And diversity is so important for how you think about solving problems.
You need everybody to have varying opinions, various people from various backgrounds, various opinions on things, because the only way we can relate to a very diverse group of customers is being diverse as a business as well and making that transferable.
So we can embrace equity by raising awareness of frictions that occur across all sections of society and in the workplace, and proactively closing the gap between these differences and segments.
we would do it with respecting each other and listening to each other's opinions. And I've asked this question both men and women for their advice, what they would say. And I think that's the key, to listen to both sides.
Just wanting to create change is the starting point. We need to take action. I think sometimes companies can be word heavy, but actually putting your money where your mouth is, I think, is the most important thing. How are your policies inclusive? How are you actually putting things in place to help your employees? I also think get angry, like this isn't right, and we need people who are passionate and are gonna stand up, rather than just shying away and going, oh, this is awkward. Being able to stand up when you see something is wrong and calling people out. I think those conversations, whilst they might be uncomfortable, I think the most uncomfortable conversations will create the most value.